Rutgers fans, you got knocked the F out last weekend. Oh, my Lanta. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your favorite podcast in all the land. It's your boys at Three Fingers Salute. You got your boy, T-Sizzle, a.k.a. T-Hannah, and my esteemed colleagues,
J-Money, J-Mo,
Ricky Bobby.
back again at it. It's a short week for the hometown team. I know all of you watched the game last week and came away with a lot of smiles on your face after that game. We're going to jump into some couple thoughts on the game. We're going to talk about the American Bliss package as always, the Wipe Me Down of the week, and then we're going to talk about the South Florida keys to the game. So let's jump right into it. First thing we obviously need to talk about is the score, the game, the beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning game we had. Final score, 49-14. Oh, there's a lot to say on that. First thing we want to talk about, obviously, O'Corn is our O savior. He's our own Johnny O football. He is the man, a true freshman just going out there and balling out. Rick, what was his stats on the game?
He actually went 24 for 30 with 364 yards and 5 passing touchdowns.
Kill him! With a couple good ones to the hometown boy, Mr. Deontay Greenberry, West Coast swag out there, just beast moded on those boys. But not only that, not only O'Corn, Greg Ward came in and did his thing at the game. He actually came through and played a hell of a game, I must say. Not only just as a quarterback, but he rushed the ball and he took some shots. And I love it how we're using both of those quarters, not even as a backup, but as a 2 QB system, which
a tandem, yeah,
never works. I mean, either you say you got 2 QBs, you got no QBs. We don't have that problem. We have, okay, O'Corn, go do your thing out there. Okay, Ward, go do your thing out there. Okay, O'Corn, go back in. And there's no answer for either one of them. That was exploited last week.
But I really wouldn't call it a 2 quarterback system. They more like complement each other and they complement the offense. To kind of give us like a change of pace. We're trying to do something like run the clock out, still go Ward in there towards the end of the game. We just ran the ball down their throats.
No,
so
absolutely.
they really complement each other.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And hats off to Beecham. He's putting some good packages together. There was plenty of good plays, and what I'm seeing now, what I'm really liking, is O'Corn is going through progressions. He's not getting locked onto one guy. He's checking down. He'll throw it in the flat, throw it down the field, and our guys are making some grabs. That's awesome. I'm hats off. Absolutely.
That 83-yard, what was it, 83-yard touchdown to Greenberry?
Uh-huh.
If you watch that play, they bring Spencer in motion, fake the handoff, and if you watch Greenberry's route, he goes up 5 yards, puts his hand up like he's going to block, and just cuts inside, and it's wide open.
Yeah.
Seam route all day.
And speaking of Spencer, he went with 6 receptions for 117. This is his second big game in a row. So Spencer's doing work for us.
Absolutely.
Another day at the office.
And he's absolutely a vocal leader on that offense. And he's a young guy. I mean, he's a great player. I'm so happy to see that felt like almost a complete game. Almost. It wasn't exactly a complete game, but it was almost a complete game. I would take that style of game any day of the week. Absolutely any day of the week. But on top of that, not only just our receivers, our rushing, even though it didn't go as well as we had planned, Ferris still came out and ran some good routes, especially that one beast play where he swung out to the sideline, tiptoed, made a guy miss, and still got in for the end zone. Now, granted, he got the personal foul afterwards.
Not a personal foul.
I know, it's dumb. He was taunting the crowd, but with the new rules, you can't do that. Now, granted, he didn't do it while you made the play and get the touchdown to call it back. It's things like that we really have to worry about because you never know. That could come back to haunt us later on down the road. But it actually didn't because Leone still booted it.
That was incredible.
Still absolutely booted it, and we're going to talk about it in a second. And shout out to Mr. Ayers himself getting his first receiving touchdown of the year. He's a beast. I'm really glad we got him mixed in to our receiving corps. Next thing we obviously need to talk about is our defense. Came up big yet again, like they've been doing.
Thieves.
The Den of Thieves is still alive and well. McDonald had 2 great interceptions. One was a tip pass, heads-up play. One was a just straight-up terrible throw that he made a great play on.
The one in the end zone?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mr. Teron Walker had 2 interceptions as well, and then Trey Stewart had an interception too. And you can't say enough about these guys, especially with Stewart getting the Defensive Player of the Week for the conference. Kid's a sophomore. going out there and making plays. He's on the field every single play. He's watching how all the motion going on. He's making plays. He's making call out to the linebackers. Everybody helping Matthews out. And he even came up with a forced fumble, which
that
he
was
literally
just sick.
He stuck himself in there and just ripped the ball out. I mean, that's a heads-up play. That's
textbook.
And that's what you're becoming to expect. It's almost it feels like a letdown on the defense if they don't come away with multiple interceptions, because that's what we've become accustomed to now. So it'll be awesome to see it continue throughout the year, and I really think it will. They're so opportunistic. They're playing with their ears pinned back. There is no fear on that team. They're saying, you want to come up and throw? Okay, good luck. Pretty much good luck on us.
And what's great about that is now the offense is feeding off the defense. 4 of those turnovers led into touchdown drives. So that's 28 points because the defense gave you the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
How many years has it been since we've been able to probably say that? Not since I've really been watching U of H football.
The only decent year we had is when Stewart was here. But even then, it was still bend, don't break, but we were bending a lot then. And there were some plenty close games that year that we had to worry about it. And I'm not saying the tide has turned on that just yet, but I am saying we are making a lot of improvements on our defense, and hats off to Coach Gibbs for coming back and bringing that and really getting into our defense and making them believe in themselves, and they completely bought into themselves. Last little tidbit, special teams. We do have to mention the field goal yet again. It's something just not right with our field goal unit. But outside of that, Leone, great job on the kickoffs. How many times did he punted, three times? He put one inside the 20. I mean, the kid's doing great. You can't ask him to do everything.
No.
I mean, there's only so much that we can ask him to do. And then what does he do when he misses the field goal? Oh, he lines up at the 20-yard line and boots it into the end zone on a kickoff. I mean, come on. Other teams would kill to have that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm so glad that we have
that was after that taunting penalty?
Exactly. Yes, it was. So thank you for not allowing that 15 yards to really affect us, because they had nothing to they had 0 kick returns. How many games? When's the last time we ever heard of that? They had 0 kick returns at all.
I don't know.
No, I don't know. Never. Way past our time. That's the old run and shoot days back in the Yeomanite days, pretty much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, even though we had a great win, we do have to talk about the American Blitz package and whip around the league real quick and talk about some of the other scores, which now are really starting to show some implications of what's going to happen when you start talking about BCS. So first one we need to talk about, Louisville absolutely destroys South Florida.
Saw that coming.
34-3. There are no wheels on the bus for South Florida. It's not even repo mode. They're in the junkyard trying to find pieces of the bus.
But they're still over 500 in conference play.
Yeah, that's the terrible thing. They stuck away.
They're 2-1 in conference.
Mm-hmm. So, hats off to Louisville. Keep winning, because Lord knows we're going to need you to keep winning until we play you and then beat you, because that'll help us get into the BCS game.
Slow down, son.
Hey, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying
one game at a time.
We beat the crap out of them in their own home turf, and they got destroyed by Louisville. So,
okay, let's just get back to the Louisville game. This was Teddy Bridgewater coming back, being efficient again, 25 for 29, 344 with 3 touchdowns. And the big key to this was Louisville wins the time of possession. They held the ball for 41 minutes, 43 seconds, leaving USF with only 17:47. That's why they only scored 3 points. Louisville kept that ball and didn't even let them have a chance to score.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Next one, UCF absolutely destroys UConn at home.
Surprise there.
62-17. Blake Bortles rolls. I mean, they got 7 points in garbage time, so really you could count this as a 62-10 victory for UCF. Hey, great for them. Hats off to them. They jumped Louisville in the polls this week. Again, UCF's going to be sitting at home watching us this week, and I'm all for it because I want their best when we play them next week at home. I believe it's their homecoming game.
It's a homecoming game, prime time, ESPN2.
Yep, Saturday night. We're gonna have plenty of time to all get hydrated for that game, even though we won't be there. Finally, SMU squeaks one out, 24 points in the fourth quarter to beat Temple at home. You know, what can you say about SMU? I mean, they had a tough out-of-conference schedule. Now they're starting to squeak by. I don't know what to think about SMU just yet. I think the jury's still out.
It's really hard to believe that they only won by 10 points. Gilbert led them to 538 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, and then he carried it 8 times, 97 yards for 2 touchdowns. That's 6 total touchdowns he was involved in. Mm-hmm. How do you only win by 10?
Yeah, I completely agree.
It's that defense.
Here's the crappy thing. You go into halftime, Temple's thinking, oh, we got this in the bag. It's 28-14. Just keep coasting, playing our game. And then SMU rattles off 21 points in the third, 24 points in the fourth. For Matt Rule, you gotta feel bad for him, but at the same time, it's like, well, that's why there's 2 halves of football. There's 4 quarters. If the game's ended at halftime, not all of us have the records that we do have. So the state of the AAC right now, it's head and shoulders Louisville, UCF, and then us. And it really is us 3 duking it out for that BCS automatic qualifier. And then outside of that, it's like, well, good luck to everybody else trying to get bowl eligibility.
But, interesting note, we do have 2 wins over Big Ten teams and 2 wins over SEC schools.
Absolutely.
They might not be the dimes of those conferences, but, hey.
A win is a win is a win is a win.
UCF almost had one against South Carolina.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now that we did the Blitz package, it's the next awesome part of the portion of the podcast, the AAC.
Awesome portion.
Shut up.
Awesome portion, y'all.
Wipe me down.
It's the Wipe Me Down section of the AAC. First game up this week, weird game, especially for all of us here, the Wednesday night game of Cincinnati at Memphis. This game, I'm not too sure what to think about this game. Right now, Vegas has Cincinnati winning by 3.
I think it's a pretty intriguing game, matchup.
I agree. I mean, you have Cincinnati, you don't really know where to feel, even though they've been rolling. But then you really don't know what to think about Memphis because they've had some decent wins and some close losses.
Decent wins?
Decent.
Win.
Win. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Win.
Uno.
Win.
Singular.
One. What I'm saying is there's a couple games, a couple plays that they could have won the games. So that's my thought on that.
No, you're right.
I mean, I'm taking Cincinnati with the points on this. I don't think Memphis pulls this out. I'm still not sold on Memphis.
No.
This is not basketball season, okay? This is still football, Memphis. Hey, next week, it's all on you, okay? You get your basketball back. You get to start doing some damn things, all right?
I got a number for this. It's 3. Temple, UConn, Memphis. 3 terrible teams in a row, which will equal 3 wins in a row. Since he's going to take this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I like that stat guy.
Good job, Ricky Bobby. You get kudos this week. Then you have South Florida at Houston on a Thursday night, national ESPN broadcast. We'll get to that in a second. Just know that it's on the radar and we all know about it. And then finally this week, a lot of people are on bye. You have Temple at Rutgers this weekend. Everyone else has a bye week. Right now, they've got Rutgers as a 13.5-point favorite against Temple.
I don't know what to think about this game. Like, Rutgers didn't show me anything last week.
They got shut. We shut another team out in the second half of the game. So, is Temple going to be that good this game? Because they just hung 49 on SMU. Or is Rutgers going to show up again after their fans left in the second half, us playing them?
You think there'll be 52,000 there?
No. At noon kickoff? No. They'll be lucky to have 40,000, if that.
Because of the loss
Because of the loss. It's kind of like, well, geez, we already lost to the 2 other top teams, and at Fresno State, who are they?
But Gary Nova is just a turnover machine.
He even got called out by his head coach saying you can't turn the ball over. Simple as that. We turned the ball over way too many times. That's why he got benched. And then the replacement still threw interceptions as well.
Well, staying on the topic of turnovers, my number actually is about turnovers. Temple has 2 interceptions, 2 on the season. Oh. They're a much favorable defense. I think they go back to scoring their minimum of 28 points a game and outscore Temple and get a W.
Well, yeah, there's no question they're not going to lose to Temple.
No, Rutgers was
and we don't want them to lose to Temple. We want them to still be considered, we're going to the Big Ten next year. Oh, they're a typical Big Ten team, by the way.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now given that we talked about everybody else, it's time to break down our own game. We have South Florida at home Thursday night, 6 p.m. kickoff. in Houston at Reliance Stadium to bring it back for Halloween night. And we're going to talk about the jerseys, which we debuted shortly. Sick, nasty. But first, a couple of things that we think are going to have to happen in order to get the W, which from sitting where we're sitting shouldn't be too terribly difficult. First things first, even though it's given a short week, we got to establish drives again, just like we did against Rutgers. We scored pretty quick, but there were some lengthy drives that we put together, especially when Greg Ward gets on the field. I like it that we can do either or. We can score quick or we can score slow. It's really just kind of, we do what we want to do, and we can really just confuse the defense on what we're going to do. Another point, I think we still got to keep converting these first downs. I don't like seeing us third down and long. I've noticed kind of a trend that we're starting to gain positive yardage with our rushing game to get us that third and short instead of having to work with third and 9 where you know you're going to have to pass or do some sort of screen or something like that. Another thing, no turnovers. We've done a great job of keeping the ball on our side outside of the BYU game. We've really done an excellent job with our QBs and our running backs not able to cough up the ball, which I really, really like. And that just, again, that's all on the coaching. That's great coaching and keeping our players up and knowing what to do when they have the ball. And then finally, I think it really comes down to getting up and stay up on South Florida. This year so far, they've only been able to score 6 touchdowns total 4 touchdowns total in the second half of games, 2 of those which were in garbage time against Miami. And then on top of that, they've gotten 2 whole field goals the entire year in the second half. So what that means is get up, stay up on them, and you should coast to victory in the second half.
It's going to kind of be a day at the office. This is just a couple of where they stand. They average 132 passing yards a game opposed to our 324. They get about 108 rushing yards per game as opposed to our 171. They score about 14 points a game opposed to our 42. This is one of those games where you just cannot shoot yourself in the foot.
Yep.
Don't have penalties. No. Don't turn it over.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the turnover battle, continue to create turnovers. We got 16 interceptions on the year.
Incredible.
That's a little over, 2 every single game? Basically, it's saying if you're going to throw it, you're pretty much going to throw it in the hands of Trayvon Stewart, Teron Walker, or Adrian McDonald. Simple as that. You don't make mistakes because those boys are right there waiting for that tip ball and just begging for you to give us the ball.
Heck, we even got defensive linemen making interceptions this year.
Absolutely. And not to mention, this might be I don't know what kind of move this is for, but they're going to go ahead and start another freshman QB, Mike White, who actually was recruited by U of H. Freshman QB on the road on a short week against a very fired-up squad who's opportunistic and plays with their ears pinned behind their head. Ooh, that's a pretty dangerous combination.
Defense isn't
we're going to come out there, yeah.
Exactly.
That's fresh meat.
And right now they're running back, which actually is he leads the conference currently in rushing yards. He has 557 on the year, if I'm not mistaken. He may or may not play. I'm not too sure. That's probably another game time decision. It's Marcus Shaw. He's averaging 110 yards per game. It's going to have to be able to shut him down. But we've shown that you can have a good running back. The running back for Rutgers ran for 150 something. Even though that happens, we can still shut you down because you're not going to be able to throw the ball. It's pretty simple as that.
We just need to not let that freshman quarterback get in a rhythm by any means, which I don't think he will. But we gotta shut him down early and just put him in his place in the first quarter.
Shut you down! Shut you down!
This is one of those games, though, we need to come out there. It's on national TV, make a statement to everybody.
Yeah, this game is a very eerie feeling, just like some other games we've seen. UTEP.
No, it won't be one of those.
You don't think so?
No. It's later in the season. We're seasoned now. Mm-hmm. There's too much at stake for this team.
We're definitely in mid-season form right now.
This is one of those games where we need the style points.
Yes, style points to the max.
Absolutely.
Louisville, 34-3 win? We need to match that or something even better.
Yeah, and so far, we've been able to do it. It's just continuing, stay healthy, make smart plays, and hold on to the ball. A couple quick hits for this game. First thing we got to mention, the jerseys. The blackout on Halloween. Those things are sick nasty.
I love the digi camo too.
Oh no, it's absolutely with the candy red and the flat black for the logo. Oh, it looks sick. The players love it, and when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you perform good. It's science. It's a fact.
Coming from the salesman.
Exactly.
Yep, sales.
Hey, I'm not lying. All right, if I'm lying, I'm dying.
But that video just proves it too. That U of H athletics put out, like those kids went crazy.
No, absolutely. They love them, and that's who we're trying to appeal to is the players and the recruits. And people need to start understanding that it's not about making some Joe Blow alumni from the '80s feel great that he loves those uniforms. It's about the players who are going to wear them and make them feel better and perform better. I'm completely behind Tony Levine and the whole staff and picking these uniforms out. Another thing on a quick hit, all the national media attention. First off, we were getting absolutely zero respect from Rutgers. Oh, you're going to lose. People were picking us to lose 58 to 40 something. I mean, people just had no respect for any portion of our game. And then what happened? Wah, wah, wah. Now you've got the national media, multiple CBS writers, ESPN writers. Kirk Herbstreit's even giving us some love, which
Herbie, that never happens.
Never happens. That hasn't happened to us since they were here when Kenan was here. So the fact that we're getting all this national media attention, A, it's great for the program, but B, keep a level head. It's still got a lot of football left. We're in the meat grinder of the schedule. After this South Florida game, it doesn't get any bit easier.
It's a gauntlet.
It's gauntlet. You get UCF, who has a bye week. We play them on the road for the homecoming game. Then you have to go again the next Saturday and play at Louisville. Then you finally come home for 2 home games, even though it's not quote-unquote a home game because we're not in our stadium. You play Cincinnati at home and then SMU on a short week on Black Friday. This is going to be November's going to determine and really show us where Houston sits at a football team. I think we're going to be okay. I'm all for what some of the analysts have been mentioning of us running the table. And
I'm looking at it one game at a time.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
We got USF.
No, absolutely not.
I may add a little bit to the podcast and be a little bit fine.
Exactly.
But let's not. Speaking of the bowl games, though, anyone see the picture posted by the Sugar Bowl of John O'Corn?
I wonder.
Apparently, Sugar Bowl and Orange Bowl
were
at the Rutgers game.
We're at the Rutgers game. Hey, they got a scout. We've seen it before.
Yeah.
We've met some of the people who are on the Orange Bowl committee. And they love Houston. They love our style of play. We're exciting. We're fun. And again, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but Houston is dying for something like this to happen. And it's our destiny. It's simple as this. You went out. You're in the BCS. No ifs, ands, or buts. We're going to do it any year. This is our year to do it. It's simple as that. Simple as that.
Said the same thing in 2011.
Said the same thing in 2009.
Exactly. Oh! And obviously there were some trap games both of those years, and we're not saying South Florida's
going to be a trap
game.
This is not a trap game.
This is not. If we go out and do what we're supposed to do like we've been doing, we win this game soundly. We go home, we have a nice long break before we head on the road and play Central Florida.
I just want to take something from the stat guy real quick, and I just want to go through these triple digits.
That's bad.
Passing yards, 117.
That's an issue.
Rushing yards, 111.
That's an issue.
Points for, which means points they score, 121. Mm-hmm. And they give up, they're 89th in giving up points.
And then you flip the ball, and you go to Houston, who ranks 17th nationally with passing yards, freshman QB. Rushing yards, 62nd with 171, without our star running back who left us on the eve of college football. And now we have Pharaoh Jackson.
You don't want to be here? We don't want you here.
Who doesn't matter.
Who's West Virginia?
Exactly. Then you go points for, we're ranked top 10 at 42 a game. And then points against, we're just holding people down. And that just, again, it shows that you play us, you better bring your A game for all 4 quarters. Because in this second half, you're not going to have anything happen for you. Not anything that you want to have happen to you. So they better bring their A game. I know we're going to bring our A game. And that, and last but not least, stop the damn penalties. We've absolutely got to stop with those penalties. We had 10, I think 6 on one drive alone for 100 yards. We cannot shoot ourselves in the foot like Ricky Bobby mentioned earlier. If we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, this game is an easy game. We all have a great time, and we all make it to work on Friday morning with a big smile on our face.
I'll have work Friday off.
Yeah, I'm off.
Yeah, I'm not. I have a conference call. I scheduled a conference call on Friday. Yeah, lucky me.
Wow,
Go me.
Didn't plan ahead on that?
No, didn't think about that one.
Your game plan is flawed.
Seriously.
We've also gotten respect from Vegas now, too. After being
Finally.
underdog for 2 weeks in a row,
Yes.
they gave us a 17-point favorite in this game.
Yeah. I think they finally woken up and said, All right, here's 10 points. That's not enough. Here's okay, fine. 17.5, fine, take it. But I don't think they're respecting us on the over-under. The over-under right now is 56.5 points.
We cover that.
We're going to bust it wide open, and we're going to bring it back. We're going to bring back the W. And yes, I just said that. I went there. We're going to bust on the over. Simple as that.
Busted wide.
Pretty much busted wide open. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's our last portion of the week. I know you're all got your money out and you're on Bodog or on Bet Us or whatever, listening to us.
3centbets.com.
3centbets.com and where to bet on this game. Obviously, we said the line right now is 17.5 for us. Ricky Bobby, take it away.
Yeah, so like you said, the line is 17.5. It opened at 15.5, so it went up a little bit. Don't know what to contribute that to. Maybe they finally realized we can beat the hell out of some teams.
Yeah.
And then they put the over-under at 56.5, which we did, 49 points last week? Mm-hmm. Very possible. So the way I looked at it, we don't bet on 6 turnovers. That was an awesome game, but you don't get 6 a game. It doesn't happen. So I'm going to go ahead and go 45-13. U of H wins at Reliant.
Okay. 45-13. Okay. I can take that.
And then, so with that said, I'll go ahead and say my final portion, the Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last stat of the week.
You ain't first, you're last.
You're last.
You're last. Which you
USF, you're last.
You're last.
So, for that stat, I have the number 4. That's how many turnovers it takes for USF to win a game. They had 4 in the Cincy game and the UConn game. Both of them had 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions. Protect the ball, don't shoot yourself in the foot, and we win this game.
Simple as that. Simple as that. Alrighty, now. Oh yeah, you heard him. It's J Money. Money in the bank. What you got for us, J Money?
We're not taking this one on the bank. The thieves are coming to the bank. We're pulling a heist. We're blowing this one out of the water. This is a statement game, national television. There's not going to be a trap game. It's going to be for us to go out there and prove the country what we can do on offense and how good of a football team we can be if we play up to the standards that we did last week. I'm saying this one, let's go 52-17, and I only say 17 because I think they get a garbage 7 points at the end of the game because we put in our backups.
All right, fair enough.
So 52-17, robbing the bank.
Hey, we busted the over big time on that one. And then finally, for me, for the T-Sizzle, too hot to handle. Oh yeah, okay, fireman. All right, here's my too hot to handle pick of the week. Not only do we win, I'm going to go a little under you, 42-10, but I'm going to say O'Corn, 3 touchdowns. I'm going to say Ward, 2 touchdowns. Then Kosh comes in and cleans it up and gets us the rest of the points. Kosh throws touchdowns for the first time all season after being a junior college transfer and thinking he was going to start. Kosh is going to come in the game and finish up cleanup time.
That might be a little too hot to handle.
No, that is handle it. Try and handle that, son, because it's going to happen. Kosh is going to come in and throw some touchdown passes.
O'Corn's throwing more than 3.
More than 3?
Yes. Kosh doesn't enter the game at O'Corn.
No, yes he does. This is why. We're just going to absolutely trounce them. Not they're not going to score any points. We're going to put them in the 4th quarter and he's still going to run all over them. Simple as that. Kosh, do your damn thing and get us the W and a couple more TDs.
Are you saying we have any rushing touchdowns in this? Because if you do the math, you're saying O'Corn has 3, Ward has 2. That's only 35 points, given the fact we make the extra points.
Yeah.
But you're saying Kosh comes in and we have only a 35 to potentially something lead?
Yeah.
No, wrong.
No.
Too hot to handle.
Too hot to handle. Stick with it. All right, whatever. All we're saying is we're going to win this game. So you're from your boys here at 3 Finger Salute. Remember, always be on the giving end, never on the receiving end. Eat 'em up. Go Cougs, go.